Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the English Buddy podcast. I'm Robert, and today we're going to talk about something that every English learner experiences, that little voice inside your head that keeps translating everything before you speak. Many people think this habit is harmless, but actually, it's one of the biggest barriers to fluency. So instead of a long introduction, let's get straight into it. How to stop translating and start thinking directly in English. Brain what it means to think in English. Thinking in English doesn't mean speaking fast or memorizing thousands of words. It means your mind naturally uses English to describe, react, and feel without the help of your native language. For example, when you see a cup of tea, do you first think of the word in your own language and then translate it into English? Or do you immediately think, tea looks hot, or I want a sip? If it's the second one, congratulations, you're already beginning to think in English. When we translate every thought, we slow down our brain. It's like trying to run while pulling a heavy suitcase. The suitcase is your native language, full of grammar, habits, and structures that don't match English perfectly. To think in English, you must gently put that suitcase down. Thought balloon why translating feels comfortable. You might ask, but Robert, why do we translate at all? Why does my brain do it even when I don't want to? It's simple. Your brain loves comfort. Translation feels safe because your first language is like home. It's familiar. When you meet a new word, your brain runs home, finds its meaning in your language, and comes back with a translation. But that comfort is also a trap. It keeps you inside your first language and doesn't let English build its own space in your mind. The truth is, you can't stop translation by force. You replace it slowly with understanding, practice, and repetition, until your brain realizes English itself can be home too. Let English grow inside you. Thinking in English doesn't happen in one big moment. It happens slowly, like morning light coming through a window. You don't notice it, but everything around you becomes clearer. Start small. When you wake up, say to yourself, "Good morning." When you stretch, think, "I feel lazy today." When you drink tea, think, "It's hot. I like it." You're not practicing grammar here. You're training your brain to stay in English. Some people write one line a day in an English diary. Today was long but fun. That one simple line builds the habit of thinking in English. Many people ask, "Robert, what if I don't know the right words?" That's okay. It happens to everyone. If you don't know the word exhausted, say very tired. If you forget noisy, say many sounds. If you can't remember enjoyable, just say, "I liked it." The goal is not perfect words. It's keeping the English flow alive. When your brain doesn't stop for every unknown word, it learns faster. Over time, you'll hear the right words naturally and replace them yourself. It's like driving. You don't wait for a perfect road. You just keep moving. Thinking in pictures. Here's something powerful. Imagine, don't translate. When you hear the word rain, don't think of your language's word. Picture water drops, umbrellas, cold air. When you hear cat, imagine its fur, sound, eyes. That's how children learn, not through translation, but through pictures and feelings. Let's try a quick example together. I'll say a few words, and you imagine them in your mind. Ocean, sunset, laughter, coffee, thunder. You see, you didn't need translation. Your brain connected meaning directly through images. That's exactly how thinking in English feels. Many people ask, Robert, why is translating so hard to stop? That's a great question, and I hear it all the time. The reason translation is hard to stop is because it happens automatically. It's not your fault. It's how memory works. When you first learn a language, your brain connects every new English word to your native one like two puzzle pieces. Over time, if you don't build direct English connections, like image plus feeling plus word, you'll keep using that translation route. Imagine you're driving to work every day using the same road. Even if a faster road exists, your brain will still take the old one because it's used to it. Thinking in English means building a new road in your brain and using it again and again until it becomes your favorite path. How thinking in English changes everything. When you stop translating, something magical happens. Your listening improves, your speaking becomes natural, and your confidence grows. You begin to hear English not as a collection of words, but as a living rhythm. You start understanding meaning through tone, pauses, and expressions, not just dictionary definitions. For example, a phrase like, I'm good, doesn't always mean I'm fine. It can mean no thanks, or I'm done, or I don't need more. When you think in English, you catch those meanings automatically. You stop relying on exact words and start feeling the message. That's when fluency truly begins. Not when you know every grammar rule, but when you stop needing to translate feelings into words. Building connection with words. Thinking in English is about creating direct connections between the world you see and the words you use. When you look at the sky, don't think of the word in your native language. Just let sky appear in your mind. When you feel hungry, think, I'm hungry. This may sound simple, but it's powerful. You're training your brain to trust English as a natural tool of expression. It's like teaching a plant to grow toward the sunlight. The more you use English directly, the stronger that connection becomes. Some people ask, Robert, is thinking really so different? Yes, it is. Thinking and speaking are deeply connected. When your thoughts are already in English, your mouth doesn't have to wait. Words flow. Sentences appear naturally. But when your thoughts are in another language, your brain must pause, translate, and check grammar before you speak. And that's why you feel stuck or nervous. Thinking in English is not about speed, it's about freedom. You stop worrying about correctness, and you start focusing on meaning. You talk like yourself, not like a student reading from a book. The real struggle, fear of making mistakes. Many learners tell me, Robert, I can't think in English because I'm afraid I'll make mistakes. I understand that. But here's something important. Even native speakers make mistakes every day. If a child says, he go to school, no one laughs. We know they're learning. But when adults learn, we expect perfection, and that pressure kills fluency. To think in English, you must give yourself permission to be imperfect. Every time you make a mistake in English, you're actually creating a stronger memory connection. Your brain learns faster from small failures than from long explanations. So next time you make an error, smile. That's your brain growing new English roots. Connecting language with reality. You can't think in English if English is only in your textbooks. It has to live in your world. Describe what you see, what you feel, what you plan to do. When you wake up, think, I need to brush my teeth. When it rains, think, it's raining again. When you feel sleepy, think, I should rest. Don't wait for special study time. English doesn't grow in the classroom, it grows in daily life. The more moments you describe in English, the more your mind accepts it as natural thought. The power of self-talk. This one works like magic. Talk to yourself in English quietly during the day. While walking, the weather is nice today. When you forget something, oh, I left my wallet. When cooking, this smells so good. When you're tired, I need a break. You're not acting, you're practicing thought. Every time you use English naturally, you build a small bridge in your brain. And you don't need to correct yourself all the time. Let the sentences come out simply. The goal is not perfection, it's freedom. Some people ask, Robert, how do I know I'm getting better? That's a great question. Here's how you'll notice it. You'll hear a movie line and understand it instantly, without thinking. You'll describe something without searching for words. You'll think, I'm hungry, not its translation. For example, imagine you're watching TV and someone says, take your time. You don't translate it. You just feel it means no hurry. That's progress. That's your brain switching lanes from translation to natural understanding. Immersing yourself in English. You can build an English world around you without leaving your home. Change your phone to English. Watch YouTube in English. Even kids' cartoons help. Listen to short English podcasts while doing chores. When you see something funny online, describe it in English. That's hilarious. When you see something cute, so adorable. When you read something sad, that broke my heart. You're connecting emotions to language, and that's when English becomes part of your life. Robert answers, is translation ever useful? Yes, sometimes. At the beginning, translation is like a small boat that helps you cross the river. But once you reach the other side, the English side, you should start walking. If you always go back to the boat, you'll never explore the new land. So use translation for understanding, but don't live inside it. Let everyday moments teach you English. You don't need a classroom to think in English. You already have a world full of lessons around you. When you cook, think, I'm cutting the onion. It smells strong. When you clean, this room finally looks fresh. When your phone falls, oops, that was close. When you wait for a message, still no reply? Every tiny sentence counts. Each thought in English is a seed that grows quietly inside your mind. Example, walking to school or work. You walk outside. You see a dog. It's running so fast. You feel the wind, cold but nice. A car passes, too noisy. Someone smiles. She looks kind. All those short thoughts build the rhythm of natural English. You didn't study. You simply lived in the language. Example, at a cafe. Imagine you're sitting in a cafe alone. You look at the menu. Latte or black coffee? The waiter comes. Hi, can I get a cappuccino, please? You taste the first sip. Wow, that's strong but smooth. You hear music in the background. I know this song. These moments make English a friend, not a school subject. Example, stuck in traffic. You're in the car, not moving. Instead of complaining in your language, try English thoughts. Why is it always busy here? Come on, move a little. Okay, deep breath. I'll be patient. That's emotional English. Real reactions, not memorized sentences. Example, watching a movie. When you watch a film, don't translate every line. Focus on feelings and images. The hero says, don't give up. Feel the meaning, don't analyze it. Repeat it softly, don't give up. Soon, those phrases become part of your natural thinking. Try this small trick. Repeat short phrases from shows. That's funny. I can't believe it. Let's go. You'll start using them automatically in daily life. Many people ask, Robert, my mind still translates. What can I do? Let's imagine your brain as a busy cafe. There are two workers inside, one from your native language and one from English. At first, the native one does all the work. The English one just watches. But every time you think in English, even small words like yes, wait, really? The English worker gets faster. After a while, he starts taking orders before the native worker does. That's when you stop translating. English becomes the first voice in your cafe. Example, shopping. You're in a store. You think, where's the bread? You ask, excuse me, which aisle is bread? You look at prices. That's cheaper than yesterday. At checkout, do you have a bag? When you leave, got everything I need. That's living English, not practicing living. Example, at home with family. Even when others speak your language, you can think in English silently. Your mother says something funny. You think, she's so hilarious. Your dad is watching TV. He never misses this show. You feel sleepy. I could nap right now. Simple English sentences create natural patterns in your brain. Example, talking to yourself before bed. Before you sleep, talk to yourself softly in English. Today was a long day. I learned something new. Tomorrow, I'll try again. You'll sleep with English in your thoughts, and that's the best way to train your mind without stress. Example story, the learner who stopped translating. One of my listeners, Maya, once told me this story. She used to translate every word before speaking. Her sentences were slow, like walking through mud. Then one day, she tried something different. She started describing everything around her in English, her desk, her clothes, her breakfast. A few weeks later, she realized she was no longer translating. She was thinking. When I asked how it felt, she said, it's like breathing. I don't have to remember. How? I just do it. That's what I want for you too. Keep it simple. You don't need complex sentences like, I am utterly fascinated by the structure of this mechanism. You just need, that's interesting. Fluency doesn't mean big words. It means easy flow. Even native speakers use simple language every day. Example, instead of, I am feeling a bit under the weather, say, I don't feel well. Instead of, could you possibly lend me some money, say, can you help me out? Simplicity is power. Practice example, music in English. When you listen to songs, don't only enjoy the melody. Listen for small phrases. If you hear, let it go, repeat it. If you hear, stay with me, Imagine saying it yourself. You'll find your thoughts slowly turning into English rhythm. Example, the mirror game. Every morning, look in the mirror and talk for 1 minute in English. Say anything about your day, your plans, your feelings. Example, good morning, Robert. You look sleepy, but you'll have a great day. Don't forget your keys. It sounds funny, but this builds confidence and natural thinking faster than you expect. Example, replace translation with reaction. When someone says, good job, don't translate. Just smile and say thanks. When you make a mistake, say oops. When something surprises you, say really. These quick reactions connect English with emotion, and that's how fluency begins. Example, morning routine in English. Wake up, another day. Brush your teeth, so cold. Look at the mirror, I need coffee. Eat breakfast, tastes sweet. Leave home, let's go. See, a full routine in English, no translation needed. Keep listening, keep living. Thinking in English is like growing a plant. You water it daily with small thoughts, short talks, little examples. It doesn't grow in a day, but it never stops growing once it starts. Thank you for listening to the English Buddy podcast. I'm Robert. Keep thinking in English every day. Take care and keep learning.